our global experts to create your dream online business or grow your existing business, go to freedomlifestyleagency.com.
Hello, champions and change makers. Welcome to today's live. Are you stuck somewhere in online business? It doesn't matter which area are you trying to solve a problem, or just working to boost your business, or simply planning to set up a new online business. Let our global experts help you to power push your business growth that you're always dreaming of. Our global experts work with clients from all across the world with really big numbers. And now we started getting numerous requests on how we can help. I mean, how our gold clients are really kind of gaining that success. People are asking, what is the process? How can I get on? So on, so on, so on. So we thought, why not we share our exciting and world-class design of how we transform an entrepreneurial dream into a reality. Let me ask you, how many of you are actually having a dream of becoming an entrepreneur, but you never took a first step? Now, there is an opportunity that you can get on board and get the entire experience done with a very, very professional way, and which has a lot of trial and errors can be avoided. But you may ask, how? Now, let me ask you, are you ready to be that person that you always dreamt of? So today I'm welcoming our own Tjibaria onto the show, Freedom Lifestyle Expert 2 Club Award winner. And hello, Tjibaria.
Hello.
Tjibaria, the mic is to you. Now, you are a Lifestyle Expert, and you know how many inquiries we're getting left, right, center, everywhere. Hey, I want to start my business. I want to start my business. How can you guys help me?
Yeah.
I want to ask you, take over now and tell me.
Yes. So this is actually a really good point. And besides all the people that are so often reaching out to us asking about how can they start their business, there's also a lot of people that reach out to us for professional help with their existing businesses, because maybe some of you are watching this already have a business, you are an entrepreneur already for some time, but for some reason you find it difficult to actually get people to come to you and ask you to work with them and that sort of stuff. And that's the reason why we decided, okay, let's just actually talk about it today, because the way how we take people through that process is actually, to be quite bluntly, super simple. It's actually it's very, very simple, because we like to keep it simple. So if you agree with that as well, you like to keep things simple, comment below and say, keep it simple.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. The very powerful thing is that I spoke about this yesterday, actually, is that oftentimes whenever people are just either getting started or they're already in business, but they're not seeing the results or the time freedom that they want, they often think that there must be some complex formula that is at the source of it. But to be honest, yes, there are certain processes, and we know we guide people through that very easily and beautifully, but there's so much more focus on simplicity. And I personally also remember, let me know in the comments below as well, when was the first time that you thought, yes, I want to go in business and do my own thing? And what was the feeling that you had when you wanted it? Because keeping that clear to yourself allows you to march through any whatever challenge that you may face, any moment when you're up leveling and you're experiencing a little bit of resistance. Every single time you're doing a new technique or you're implementing a new piece of technology or software, that will help you going. So in other words, basically know your why. But specifically, what we're going to do today on this episode is actually show people the behind the scenes. Well, maybe not show, but explain the behind the scenes of what it is that we do. So I can actually show you one slide. It's the slide that I always find the most cheesy in the world. But hey, you gotta go with it, and that's just this one. So
my mind is saying, don't show secrets. Don't show secrets.
This one is absolutely okay. So basically, the essence of what we do is literally help people to have that system that runs in the background so that people can do what they want to do. And this is a random lady picture that I grabbed from Google. I don't know this person, but the idea is clear. You want to be able to have time for what matters. So time for your health, time for your relationships, but also time for yourself, things that you want to work on. But other than that, you also have to understand that if you want to produce income consistently and in a way that it can replace your job, or in a way that it can alleviate you from all the headaches of where's my next bill going to be paid from, you want to do this in a consistent manner too. So there's also definitely always going to be that wealth pillar that needs time. So basically, these are the four pillars of what Tai Lopez always talks about as the good life: health, wealth, relationships, as well as your like the things that you do for yourself, as well as your love, right? Like all of these things are very important. But the initial phase, you need to build that system. So the way how we help people is that we actually say, hey, you want to do this and that? How about we build the system for you? Because we have been building these systems for however many years, and we love it. Like Rajesh and I just had a call before this, like 2 calls ago. I've had so many calls today, but 2 calls ago, we went over all the nerdy stuff with different things in terms of building systems, automations, like the back end. How do you allow a bit of the work to actually be done by something else, which again is software, your robot, whatever you want to call it. And that for us is our everyday talk, our everyday joy. And for most people,
Breakfast.
that's simple. Our breakfast, our lunch, our dinner,
Dinner.
our dessert. Even yesterday, I was like building funnels, and I was having dinner. I was like, oh, this is so tasty. But not everybody shares that love. So let us know, by the way, in the comments if you enjoy technology, if you enjoy software, if you enjoy like the technical side of things. Like we really enjoy that. But apart from the fact that we enjoy that, like we've been able to produce results with it, and this is why we want to help people put that in. So whether you are the kind of person that wants to break free from your job and actually build your own income, or whether you are the person that already has a business but are finally waiting for the income to grow. Maybe you're doing like every month there's maybe 1-2 clients, but you're like, oh man, that's not enough. And you want to have consistent 10 clients per month or 20 clients per month, or grow that. Automation is key, 100%. So in short, what we do with people is we build the automation. But I think what we do differently is allow that automation to have your energy. And I think that's a very important point. Because have you guys ever had it that you purchase something from a company and you just like, man, I don't know why, but I just love this so much. And you keep coming back, and you keep coming back, and you keep coming back to the same thing because of something that you perhaps can't put your finger on, but it has to do with whether the service that they have, has to do with the energy that they have, the values that they share, the way how they talk and utilize specific words. Now, this is the key, because when it comes to business, if you focus on just getting like one quick client, it's not going to work for you. You want to have consistent stream. And how do you get a consistent stream of people that don't just buy once, but that are going to buy twice and a third time because they're just enjoying it, and it is a no-brainer for them to continuously want to work with you. Now, when you want to set that up, the core, the foundation of this is and always should be, according to the powerful words of Steve Jobs, is that the core and the core value should always be in alignment with who you are. So where a lot of people get it wrong is that they say, okay, this is me. This is like, I'm this cool person, or I'm excited, I'm energetic, and when I work with my clients, they get results because their energy goes up and they understand the way how we study is very simple. So that is me, that's my energy. But then my page is boring, and literally it does not in one bit reflect that intention, that energy, that vibe. Then you will miss out on a lot of people that normally, when you would have that one-to-one or one-to-many interaction, you would have captured. People would have seen the great you. So what our job is, and what we take our clients through in an extensive process, is to really get to know, who are you? What are your core values? What are the things that matter to you? And how can you translate that to multidimensional marketing? So not just talking about your business, but on different things that matter to you and that will matter to others. Number two, how can you translate it so that the automatic parts have your energy? So when I go on Rajesh's landing page, I can literally feel the vibe of Rajesh by the words that are used, by the images that are used, by the colors that are used. Most people are not aware that all these things play a part. And this is one of, I think, the biggest things that makes a difference in like the gold experience, and why it also allows our clients to be able to actually see things fast, even though they're very early on the process, and even to an extent that they don't realize it. Like Rajesh and I had a conversation about this today. One of our recent clients, she got results so quick, such a low cost per lead. She's like, oh my gosh, like so much. But she was like, there's like clients and people coming from left, right, and center. And it was actually that it was so fast that she didn't necessarily realize until we had a conversation with her that her results were exceptional. But it is because she's an exceptional person. She's a beautiful person. And we managed to capture that essence and allow the automation to carry that essence. So that even when you're sleeping, the automation is doing that. Even when you're doing other things, you're maybe playing with your puppies, you're playing with your puppies, you're having quality time, you're traveling, you're doing the dishes, whatever it may be, that system will continuously produce on your behalf. And I actually want to ask Rajesh a question, because Rajesh is phenomenal when it comes to a whole bunch of areas, but especially when it comes to the area of understanding a process and directly like listening to a client, listening to what is said, and completely creating a process from A to Z. Like, you're so good in that. Like, would you maybe share with the audience as to what you love the most about that process, in sense that you listen to maybe a new entrepreneur or an existing entrepreneur that is struggling in their business right now, and that you listen and you see like, I understand why it's not working, because this system isn't in place, that tweak isn't made, this thing. Like, could you maybe share a little bit more about that?
Oh yeah. I mean, definitely. Thank you so much for asking that question. Right, it's really important that we really understand. It's like, I always give the analogy um, of having an aeroplane is simply like a business which is looking to fly, and the entrepreneur is a pilot. Now,
Yeah.
my biggest experience traveling across the world and seeing so many entrepreneurs across different industries, most of the time the runway is not ready. There is no strong platform where it can really go at that speed and then take off. And
Yeah.
how it happens, just like beautifully you kept one important aspect here, is your business should reflect you. Like what we do, the first aspect is to really get the essence. We jump onto the brainstorming sessions on strategizing an idea coming into a shape of a product or a program or an this thing. Or I'm telling this very important aspect also for the existing entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
Even the existing entrepreneurs, they must have thought, okay, this is what it is, and they must have started, but the runway is still not ready. You must have
Yeah.
had one or two clients. You never took off just because the platform, this particular runway is not ready. Why is it
Mm.
not ready? Is how we design this world-class process on how we take a transformational journey for entrepreneur. And
Yes.
the way that we design the processes, one, it helps to create the automation. Two, and very important thing is, it changes the perspective through the DCA and various other aspects that we built in between. It
Yeah.
changes the perspective of the entrepreneur itself. By the end
Mhm.
of 8 weeks, the person comes out differently. He is the
Yeah.
entrepreneur, but he is a very forward-thinking entrepreneur. He is the
Yeah.
entrepreneur, but he is very much aligned with what the business is reflecting. Like
I love
you, right? You're so
Yeah.
so excited, energetic, enthusiastic. But if your page is boring, man, there is a big
Yeah.
mismatch. You can never ever fly. I'm not talking about this. Me and Tjibaria, we always
Mhm.
love to encourage entrepreneurs, because it's such an important thing that entrepreneurs are the biggest impact makers of the world. That's why that is what is our passion, to empower them. But the problem
Mhm.
is at the runway level. Literally, your flight is not going to take off unless you give a strong platform, and that is a platform. While it is
Mhm.
so simple, most of the people are blind to what do you call that? Um, Blind spot. Yeah, there are
Yeah.
so many blind spots. We took it out, and just like a beautiful map, the missing links that we do
Mhm.
it, we make sure we take the entire process for the entrepreneur, for them, for her or maybe for him to realize what they are,
Yeah.
and the page is reflecting. and they're going to deliver in alignment. So the process takes care of everything, and the
Yes.
experience of somebody like Tjibaria, it's totally amazing. Somebody is writing here, words, colors, phrases can bring out your energy. Absolutely, I love it. I'm not able to see the person name, but it is so true.
Yeah.
It is so true. In fact, today's call has become such a big coincidence where we literally looked at colors. Colors was the major topic
Oh,
of today's conversation, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, this is where I see it.
Mm.
Strategy and build. Once the strategy is to understand the entrepreneur and create a plan on how this particular essence is reflecting into the page, and build it, automate it, integrate it, and release it. This is a
Yeah.
process that we take every entrepreneur, but in between, we continuously take care of empowering methods for the entrepreneur itself. So
Yeah.
this is nothing like anything in the world out there. That's what I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. And it's actually really funny because in the beginning when this came about, and again, I want to really appreciate all the people that have been asking, sending messages on Instagram, messages on email, messages in the Facebook, even in one-to-one conversations that I've had with people. So I really appreciate people showing so much interest because obviously Rajesh and I are live every single Monday. They're like asking, like, "Oh, what is this thing? What is this FLC Gold experience? Like, you always show it on your Instagram." Like, so I really want to appreciate it, and that's why we decided to talk about it today. But what Rajesh just mentioned, I think, is really important and essential. And I didn't realize that at first, but it was Seb and you mentioning, like, hey, wait a second, I don't think anyone else actually does something like this in the way that it's an A to Z process with like literally every phase is covered, meaning that like a lot of the time, and we've worked with a lot of different agencies that are world-class agencies, but whenever then, for instance, we get a product delivered, like the product is delivered and it's beautiful, absolutely amazing, but then that's where it ends. And what Rajesh just mentioned right now is that we want to not just give you like, here is, let's say, here is that vehicle, or here's that plane, or if we do a slightly different example, here is this incredible tool. Let's say this, right? If I don't know for how many of you like the Marvel or superheroes, I don't even know which superheroes this is, but let's say Thor. Thor, he has this hammer, right? So that hammer, imagine, is the hammer that allows you to get clients left, right, and center. Now, not only do we say, hey, here you go, here's a hammer, and then give it to you, and so you're like, oh, I can't even lift the hammer. We're also basically training the people in that whole journey on how do you become strong? How do you become strong, not just in strategy and closing techniques and being able to know what to say, when to say it, how to go about a whole like strategic process that leads from a cold person to an actual happy client, but also how do you build yourself mentally? Because it doesn't matter what you do in your life, you're going to face challenges. It's the
Yeah.
same with business. You're going to face challenges. Nothing ever goes as planned.
Yeah.
So how do
I,
you build yourself? Yeah.
yeah, I want to add one very, very important quote here, right? At FLC, especially at the core level, we believe in this. It's not just about the end result, it's about
Yeah.
the person that you become in actually achieving the
Absolutely.
result that matters. Just like what Tjibaria said, it's
Mm.
not that only the plane in my example or the hammer in Tjibaria's example. It's the person you become in actually handling it. And
Yeah.
that is the reason why this entire gold experience is so unique that you will never get anywhere else, because it's a transformational journey even for
Yeah.
the entrepreneur. But that comes with an okay, I want to really put in one important point, right?
Yeah.
It comes with the
Warning.
effort. So it's really very important that people understand that you need to take action exactly
Yeah.
the way that we designed the process for you, because at the end of
Mm.
the day, you don't want to take an action, you will never get any results. I mean, I'm seeing here
Yeah.
it's truly about
I,
inner self.
I can say this thing. Can I interject, Rajesh? I can
Yes.
say like, if you take zero action, you'll get zero results, guaranteed. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. Sometimes the funnel can produce on itself, but then you get leads. So it's not entirely true. But in principle, sometimes that is like important to say. That's why Rajesh is saying it. That you realize this is not like, oh, here you have a system. Click on the button and poof, money falls on your head. It's not like that. It takes your effort. It
Yeah.
takes your energy, dedication, focus, like all these things that we always talk about in here. That's part of it. But people don't always realize that in building yourself, you become so strong that you become unstoppable. And this is also, and this is my personal opinion, I think you resonate with me, that is the reason why we're not being built like this in school or with everything that we're constantly being fed. Because what would you do with a world full of unstoppable people? If that's there, then who would ever need the control that is in the world, right? That will no longer be necessary. That will no longer be sustainable. So there's always people that are in control. They're like, no, I want to keep the people weak, right? And again, this may not be your view. Maybe you completely don't agree with me. That's absolutely fine. But in essence, what I'm saying here is that people sometimes say like, hey, I don't want to put in the work. I would literally want everything to be boom, done, presented without me doing anything. Which, by the way, there are options that do that. If you want to put your money into a fund, a hedge fund, or whatever, and people manage it, also possible, right? So there are options like that. You don't want to do anything, but that's not the entrepreneurial route. So if you want to build a business, you want to help people, it's going to take you to do something. And so what people sometimes don't realize is because the initial effort sometimes is like, even though, say exactly that, do this, because that they don't realize, and then they don't realize how strong they're actually becoming. And that is an important point to say. So that's what we say as well. But the thing is, because of experience and having really empowered and elevated so many incredible people, and when I say empowering and elevating, I'm not saying that we are great or we have the secret sauce or whatever. No, people are already great. But it's just how can you bring that greatness out in the most beautiful and elegant form and the most efficient form, because we are already great. It's just that we have forgotten it. So in that process, we obviously know about all the challenges. We know that it takes, your mindset to build. It takes all these things. And I think what Rajesh was just saying is that the way how we do that is a lifetime journey. So that you have us building this vehicle for you, guiding you, giving you the plan to scale afterwards, not just to think small and have one business only, but actually think, how can I expand on my empire, knowing how you could incorporate that in your brand, which is already set up for scaling, and then lifelong support, so that no matter what you're doing, you never have an opportunity to get stuck, because you can just ask for the rest of your life. Yes, Rajesh.
I think you missed also another important aspect to stress upon, which we very regularly do, is building a brand literally in alignment with the values of the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And it is so much more important. It's not just about the color. Literally, one of the things that we are doing right now is, if you're going to give wings to your clients to live a different level of life, show the wings.
Yeah.
But it takes that expertise and the patience and the level of the connecting the gaps, like you said, is very important. We create a brand in a way that you can build any business, even if you're building 5 businesses at a time. But that's really very, very important. Oh, you're already bring it out elegantly. Oh, nice. I'm not sure. It is showing Facebook user. I don't know. Tjibaria, you know what is the name?
I don't actually know, but I can quickly see if I can figure it out.
Okay. In the meantime, I want to tell you, people, if you have any questions related to entrepreneurs, related to gold experience, related to any global, not issues, global entrepreneurship, please feel free to comment below any questions you have. We will be very, very happy to address them, because every week at this time we come here for you. This call is yours, and take use of it. As I see it, you're already bringing it out elegantly. Thank you so much, the Facebook user, as I see it. Once you build
what is your name? Please comment it below.
Please comment below. What's it? Sorry?
Shupi. Hoo-ha-hoo.
Shupini. Once you build yourself strong, you become unstoppable. Absolutely. Just like Tjibaria said, it's really very important. So I just wanted to mention that particular aspect, Tjibaria, about the importance of having a brand which is recognized to be the global one, professional one, and having the uniformity across. This is one element which people need a lot of strategy around. But again, we do it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A very simple example, because people don't always notice it. If you have never done it before, it may be like, okay, what are you talking about? But let's say you're launching a coaching business and you're giving mindset coaching, for instance, right? That could be the first thing that you're starting. Now, if you, for instance, your name is John, and you're going to say, my name of my brand is John Mindset Coaching, because then people instantly know that I'm the mindset coach. Possible, absolutely possible. But if you think, okay, that is the way how you start, that would limit you to only that element. And here's the thing, the way how you start in business is most of the time not where you end up, because there's a lot of things that you cannot predict. There's a lot of things that you are going to be evolving. Like I started as a happiness coach. Now I am business, scaling, sales, automation, like all those different things, even other elements as well, but I don't label myself. But I mean, that's the area that I'm mostly focused on, helping people to generate income that is sustainable and passive, right? So that's something completely different than a happiness coach. But had I limited myself in saying, Tjibaria, the happiness coach, and then I want to change, it's very difficult, because you would have to completely start up a fresh new brand. Same holds for, let's say, if you are selling toilet paper. Rajesh sells toilet paper. So Rajesh, and let's say the toilet paper factory, right? Now, as growing his toilet paper factory, Rajesh is like, yeah, this business is going so well. Then people start to approach him and say, hey, Rajesh, I love what you're doing with your business. Can you teach me business? So Rajesh thinks, hey, why not? I've got my toilet paper factory. Let me now teach it. But then when you start to teach it, you cannot do it under the same brand. So you would have to start all over again. So that is why it's very important. I'm not saying that the other parts is not possible, but usually if you look at what a lot of big brands do, even if you look at like billion-dollar brands, or even the smaller brands that are like 6-figure, 7-figure, 9-figure, or 8-figure, there's something in between, that if you set it up from the instant for scalability, it is so powerful, because it allows you to be flexible, but also people buy from people. People buy from people. So they would be keen on understanding who you are as a person, your values, your story, your behind the scenes. And that is why they decide to do business with you. And that's a powerful and a lot of the time refreshing thing to realize when you've never realized this before. And this is also like when it comes to, let's say, our top level clients that are already in business. Like one of our clients, he's a 7-figure entrepreneur for a long time already. And there's like, he was just like, okay, but I've been doing it the traditional way. I want to now include automation, because I don't longer want to do everything just like by myself. I need automation. And then boom, then that was the part that we focus on. So this is important to realize. It's not just for, just the way of getting launched, but also if you already have your business, you can always speed up the process, always free up more time, always increase your profitability, and increase your reach by including automation. So automation is an absolute must, no matter which industry, no matter where you're from, no matter what you're doing, no matter which income level or which starting level you are at, this is an absolute must. And I think that process of building in automation, whichever the scenario is the same for everybody, basically. So that is something that I personally love a lot. Now, I want to thank you guys for all these comments that are coming in. Really, really appreciate that. So that's super awesome. Rajesh, what would you like to add to this as a one-liner that can really give people some perspective of how they can utilize the power of anything that we've shared today in their lives? What would you be saying?
I would put it very simply like this. With FLC Gold experience, you never need to think twice if you want to start your business. Look back in time, you must have thought about business, stopped, or maybe you did not never try to even fly that business because you must have had so many limitations in your mind. But at FLC Gold, we have got answer for every question you have. No, not just the answers, but the solutions, expertise, and every single resource that is required to make sure that you fly and fly high. So never let your dreams sleep in that particular runway forever, because life is not forever, right? So let's have fun. If you're having a dream of becoming an entrepreneur, or you're already an entrepreneur, if you want to become a successful entrepreneur, we have everything that you ever wanted. It's just a matter of asking. It's a one call away. You're just one call away. And only for these ambitious entrepreneurs, we're giving the first call absolutely free. So just go there into the link and just book your call. and we would love to see all these, because that is our, like we have been telling today, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We love to hear problems, we love to offer solutions, we love to see our clients fly high. So never
Yeah.
let dreams sleep. Yeah, this is the
Yes.
link.
I really, really resonate with that. And at the same time, if you don't do it for you, if you don't do it for your company, if you don't do it for your family, do it for us because we would like to build your system. We enjoy that. So, just that's like a little bit of weird comedy in there, but I'm 100% serious. Like we love the process of allowing people to see what is possible and then making it possible. Because you don't know what you don't know, and the moment that you see it, this is what we always say: once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's that weird. That's what we experienced as well when we went into business. You obviously coming from your business background, me coming from a academia background, not knowing anything about business. But once you see it, you can't unsee it, and that moment's like,
Sealed,
let's keep on
sealed.
going, keep on going. So yeah, and that's what we love to see people experience. So all I want to say is, guys, you got this. Go ahead, click on the link, book yourself a free call with Rajesh, which is so awesome. And worst case scenario, you'll learn a lot. Best case scenario, Rajesh is so impressed by you, he's going to be like, you know what? I want you to come on board. I pay majority. You only have to invest the minority. And that will be powerful. Very powerful. So
I
on
told
that
you,
note,
no secrets. I told you, no secrets.
no, just kidding, just kidding. So that is it for us today. Rajesh, thank you so much for this wonderful session. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you so much to our beautiful audience for being here, for commenting, for being present. Really appreciate all of you. And keep asking the questions, because today's episode is purely because people asked about what is that gold experience you keep posting about. So we were very happy to share that with you. We hope it has answered your questions. If you have more questions about the gold experience, reach out to Rajesh. Link is below. You can ask him. And other than that, if you thought this video was useful, please feel free to send some love or to add some like or whatever platform you're watching this on. Also, if you think that other people can benefit from this, feel very free to share it so that we can inspire more people. But most importantly, allow the beneficial words that have been in here that can benefit you in your life, allow that to be implemented, not just listen, but implement. So on that note, we're gonna go. Bye, Rajesh.
Bye. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
If you want our global experts to create your dream online business or grow your existing business,